One more time for the spring. The Southern State Showcase just around the corner. John here, Nicole there. We got a lot of ground to cover and a short time to get there.
Yes, we certainly do. Unfortunately, it's the last show of the season, so let's waste no time. The showcase starts right now.
Southern State Showcase on Sports South.
Welcome to the final episode of the Southern State Showcase. I'm Nicole Morocco. This is John Nelson, and this week we come at you from Atlanta, Georgia, here in beautiful Piedmont Park. And we have some great news regarding the basketball national tournament.
The Dalton State men's basketball team qualified for the Buffalo Funds NAIA National Basketball Championship in only their first year of eligibility. So it only seemed fitting that they would roll through the 32-team tournament and meet Westmont College of California in the final. The Warriors had the hot hand early, but after a 15-all tie, Dalton State would start to take command. Here, Jermaine Burry works inside for the bucket. Then from the corner off the break, championship MVP Jordan Bowling buries 3 of his game-high 18. Westmont fought to get back in this one, but in the end it was all Roadrunners, as Dalton State is your 2015 NAIA National Champion with a 71-53 win. From Kansas City, Missouri, for the Southern State Showcase, I'm Scott Singer.
So that's the news from the national tournaments and Independence in Kansas City. Congratulations to all of the Southern States teams who participated on the national level. Next up, one of the stories that kind of took the Southern States by storm this past season, one of the great initiatives of the NAIA.
Integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership are the 5 values that make up Champions of Character. While every single component is important to all institutions in the Southern States, there are certain values that resonate differently among the schools.
It's big. It's what we're about.
We really do want to do things the right way. We want our visitors, whether they're local community or visitors that are competitors, to have a good experience here. We want to treat them like we would want to be treated, and yet be very fierce competitors, but play fair and play the game the right way. And hopefully that's the reputation that we can begin to build within the league, within the conference.
The 5 core values of Champions of Character help student athletes find a balance between their athletics, schoolwork, and everyday life. The mission of the Champions of Character program is to provide training to instill the values that build character so students, coaches, and their parents value the right things both on and off the field.
A lot of schools share this kind of commitment, even if the NAIA did not have the national emphasis. I would sure hope that would be our commitment for us as a Christ-centered institution. That's who we want to be. We're not perfect, but we want to be that type of athletics department. We want to be that type of university. We want to model that for our student athletes, and we want to help them learn to grow in that.
Seeing student athletes and their coaches excel in all areas of the Champions of Character program is extremely rewarding.
It's exciting to win, but it is more exciting to produce young people who are eligible for and earn that recognition as a champion of character. We know that they will look back someday and be excited and grateful for their opportunity to compete at a high level, but I think that they'll look back and say, first and foremost, wow, being a champion of character has had an impact on my life, on my career, on my relationship with other people. And so that is paramount for us, that students are able to achieve that type of distinction.
So Nicole, that's just a sampling of what the Champions of Character Initiative means to the NAIA, and during the year you got to see one of the great initiatives in the conference firsthand.
I did. Servant leadership is one of those 5 components, as you just heard, and Bloodwater was one of the greatest initiatives the conference has seen all year. Water, something most of us take for granted every day. But 320 million people on the continent of Africa live without access to clean drinking water. In order to obtain the necessary water, Africans spend over 40 billion hours a year walking to collect water for their families. A non-profit organization called Bloodwater was formed in 2004 in efforts to help with the HIV and water crisis facing African countries. This year, the SSAC joined hands with Bloodwater in order to help shorten the walk. Martin Methodist President Dr. Ted Brown and Athletic Director Jeff Bain headed the initiative.
I was very excited about it. Jeff Bain and I happened to be in a meeting with the leader of Bloodwater on another issue when it came up, and it matches the recurring values that are represented on this campus. We've had African students as far back as you can read the college history. We have African students here now, and they can speak firsthand about the issue. And so our students just naturally get motivated and mobilized when you talk about this kind of an issue. So I knew, just hearing the basic information about Bloodwater, that it might be something that would resonate with our campus, and certainly it did.
Not only did Bloodwater resonate with Martin Methodist, it became the passion of every school in the conference. What started as an idea at one school quickly became an initiative across the southern states.
Well, it was neat how it all came about. As I told you before, Mike Hamilton and I came up with the idea. I proposed it to our presidents back in a summer meeting, taking their input. I'm like, here's what we're going to attempt to do. And I got their blessings, and then I went to our athletic directors and proposed, here's what we'd like to do. It doesn't take any work on the athletics. Let's do it with our Champions of Character liaisons on each campus. Mike Hall, our commissioner, coordinated all that, had conference calls once a month. We had one young man from the University of Auburn at Montgomery. He put his own website up and got a $2,000 donation from a single person he didn't even know, anonymous person. So it's kind of neat to see all the different things from Chick-fil-A sandwiches that our students sold on campus and donated the proceeds to it, to see somebody creative and create their own website and get a $2,000 contribution. And I think what it let all of our student athletes know on campus, and coaches and ADs, you know, collectively we got a pretty good thing going when we combine all of our forces together. So the big component that I really gained from it was to see us working together as something instead of competing every Saturday and Friday and Tuesday night against one another.
Martin Methodist collected a little over $2,000, while the southern states as a whole raised more than $11,000, enough money to offset the cost of drilling one deepwater well. This well supplies nearly endless amounts of clean drinking water to a 20,000-person community. In order to symbolize their efforts, the students and faculty of Martin Methodist all got together and, with $1 in hand, filled the center of campus.
It was a cold day. It was about 36 or 37 degrees, so we were afraid, you know, if the weather may keep us from doing this. And then some of our students started tweeting and social media saying, you know, we can't let the weather set us back from what we're trying to do to help somebody help live and improve their life. These people walk for hours and for miles and miles to get fresh water. We can stand in cold weather for 30 or 45 minutes. So it almost became a rallying cry. The cold weather was encouraging people to get out and support the effort. So it was kind of a neat thing to do. And again, we liked doing it because that was a neat global effort that we wanted to do to help do something to add to our portfolio of what we're doing within our communities.
In only its first year as a conference initiative, it has been more successful than anyone could imagine. With 1 year under their belts, all the schools are ready to keep this going and continue the effort to shorten the walk. John, it's really great to see all the different schools come together for this one great cause.
And we got to see the NAIA embrace the Bloodwater Initiative firsthand. That is it for the A Block. We come back. It's time for something new, what it's like to start something from the ground up. For that story, we go to Mobile when the showcase continues after this.
Because you want more flavor, at Nukes we marinate and grill to perfection. Because you want the latest culinary tastes and trends, we never rest. At Nukes, great food drives us. So we are meticulous in our preparation, obsessed with the quality of our ingredients, and uncompromising about serving you our very best. We believe that sharing a memorable meal is one of life's ultimate pleasures. Join us at Nukes Eatery.
Arrive ready to learn. Graduate ready to lead. Let's get started. College of Coastal Georgia.
Discover.mga.edu. Discover Middle Georgia State College.
Arrive ready to learn. Graduate ready to lead. Let's get started. College of Coastal Georgia.
Hi, I'm David Alford from the TV show Nashville, and I'm here to tell you about my college. Since 1870, Martin Methodist has paved the path to success for thousands of graduates. Just an hour south of Nashville, you'll find an affordable private college participating in the Tennessee Promise with an educational program designed for you to graduate in 4 years. Come visit us and experience the difference. Experience an education that's personal.
Can't believe my little girl's going off to college. Your mom would be so proud.
Aw, Dad.
Well, I guess this is goodbye.
I'll see you soon. Hey, Dad.
Hi, sweetheart. I just want you to know I'm so proud of you.
I'm the one that's proud. How are your classes going?
Brenau University, a Georgia tradition for 135 years. With adult degrees online and in class, families everywhere are discovering pure gold.
Welcome back to the showcase, our final episode of the season, and we are here in beautiful Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia. John, we've got a few stories ahead, but what's up next?
What's up next is what is it like, and this is the question to the floor, what's it like for one of the athletic departments in the Southern States Athletic Conference to add a sport? And we know there's a lot that goes into it, and we decided to go down to a very rainy Mobile, Alabama to find out what it's like to add a sport to an athletic program.
It's hard to start something from the ground up, anything really. Sometimes when you're starting a new sport from the ground up in an athletics program, it's done in places that challenge you and your goals. For the University of Mobile and their track and field program, it took a lot to get even to this point where they're actually on a track.
It's a process that probably took 2 years, because you have to go through the different administrative layers and justify why we're bringing it back. And even at the small college level, there's a dollar cost to doing those things. And the fact that we don't have an on-campus track and field, which, a lot of schools don't, but, that adds an obstacle to it. But we finally got that approved when you go, up the administrative chain, and then it has to be approved by the board. And that took probably 2 years.
But for first-year head coach Andy Canagita, he came over from Loyola in New Orleans, and he was ready with a plan from the beginning. And his plan to build and build quickly is already paying off.
I consider myself a builder as far as building an individual to improve in their way of life as far as after college life and their personal life and spiritual life and athletically. So I would consider myself as a builder in that sense, even though I'm actually building the program, but I would consider in that sense a builder of an individual.
With a roster of very young runners, almost all of them freshmen that can build from that square one, they're learning just as quickly that it's a whole new ball game from running in high school, but they're facing their older competition head on without any fear and making strides, pun intended, every time they race.
It's a fresh feeling, everybody gets a chance to show who they are without having upperclassmen trying to, outdo them. So it feels good.
And to that fresh feeling, Canagita's practices are difficult. There's no mistaking that. But what that does is get everyone on the same page, the U-Mobile's programs page from the beginning, so the program can keep its sharp ascent going just as quickly as it got off the ground.
It's kind of a lot of learning how to adjust with new people, dealing with a lot of freshmen, and kind of sort of like a new family.
During the workout, you're like, oh, I hate track, I hate it. But afterwards, you feel great about it. You go home and you think about how good you felt afterwards, and you're kind of grateful for the workout.
And with all those workouts, the Rams are looking to be a force for quite some time.
I expect my kids to go to nationals. I bring an individual to nationals every year, and I think you just kind of leave it in God's hands, and because God makes our plans, and I just kind of follow what He tells me to do. So it's just You know, I've been asked that question many times. Like, did you expect us to go to nationals? And that's like, you know, we train hard every day for us to reach the opportunity to go to nationals. So I do expect them to reach that level, to be able to be competitive at all levels, NCAA Division I, II, or III, and just be competitive.
So Nicole, it's really cool to see, even as we braid the elements there, to see a program build something, put a lot of thought into it, and have immediate results in the Southern States and the NAIA.
It's incredible. I just want to give them a big congratulations because they're doing it with all freshmen.
Very good.
All right, don't go away. Coming up, we're going to catch up with one of the most influential people in the conference. The showcase continues after this.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
A nurse.
Radiologic technologist. A manager.
A lifesaver.
I'm a leader. Going to make the world a better place.
Going to change the world.
Going to change the world.
Going to change the world.
Because of Dalton State.
Because of Dalton State.
Because of Dalton State.
Because of Dalton State.
Are you?
Are you? Are you?
Are you?
Hollingsworth takes the snap, thrust out of the pocket, throws deep into the end zone. There's Dawson. He got it. Touchdown, Faulkner. Evans quickly up the field for the Lady Eagles. She finds Hayes in the corner. Hayes for three. Faulkner is the 2013 national champion. They have just painted Lewiston, Idaho, Faulkner blue.
Faulkner University Athletics, champions of character.
Carrie is
inspiring, family, a best value, engaging,
diverse,
military friendly,
enriching,
competitive,
cutting edge,
Christ-centered, growing,
and the path to your future.
View course schedules and registration times. Apply online and learn more about Cary at wmcary.edu.
For nearly 40 years, Musco has specialized in the design and manufacture of sports and large area lighting solutions. From neighborhood ball fields to international speedways, Musco is committed to providing cost-effective lighting solutions and services you can rely on. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting, we make it happen.
Education should do more than just fill your head with knowledge. It should open your mind and transform your life with the power of truth. At Blue Mountain College, we are inspiring a new generation to learn truth, love knowledge, and live virtue. This is what we teach. This is who we are. Blue Mountain College. Truth, knowledge, virtue.
Welcome back to the showcase. We are still here in beautiful Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia, because we can't get enough of this place, that's for sure. And John, earlier I told them that we are going to sit down with someone influential in this conference. What's that all about?
He's kind of saying goodbye, at least in an official capacity. We took a trip down to Faulkner University in Montgomery, Alabama, and caught up with the retiring president of Faulkner University, Dr. Billy Hillier, where we discuss his legacy and what's up next.
Faulkner University has come a long way from its days as a two-year school placed in western Montgomery in the middle of fields and cattle farms, and the man at the helm of it all for almost the last 3 decades is President Dr. Billy Hillier. After this academic year, Hillier is going to retire as president, and he remembers those early days.
So we were out in the country then. People thought the board was crazy to buy property this far out of town. Of course, the town has long since gone by us now, but so it was different. It really was, and smaller. Everybody was, in some ways, closer because you could know everybody so intimately. You know, a lot of good people now, but obviously in those days, people who worked for the school were very dedicated, committed. Had to be. They certainly weren't doing it for money, and because our salaries in those days were not at all, competitive, and so a lot of good people doing things for the right reasons. The good thing, though, is we still have people like that. Fortunately, we've been able to make their salaries much more competitive, and and we've got very talented professional people in the classroom and in our administrative offices, but they're still doing the things for the right reasons, and that's what makes it exciting still to come to work.
And his philosophy has paid dividends for the university over time, and the Eagle family has been better for it.
I knew that for our institution to ever really get to the next level, we needed to become sound financially. And I think that we've come a long way in that regard. And in fact, out of the 28 years that I've been president, we've balanced our budget every year except one of those years. And I think that, I don't know how much you know about finances in higher education, but I think you'd find that to be quite unique. We've never dipped into our endowment. We don't have a tremendously large endowment, but what we have, it's remained there. And so we've tried to do things. We've tried to operate on our income, pay our bills, and those are just old-timey principles that I believe in, and we've tried to operate by.
And those here on campus who've worked alongside all the time have taken the Hillier philosophy and applied it to their own actions. Athletics Director Hal Wynn has been on campus almost as long as Hillier has, and he's seen the progression under Dr. Hillier's guidance.
He's been wonderful to work with. I've been here for 30 years. I'm almost as long as he is. I told him my record's to try to beat him, so I'm going to see what happens after he leaves. But he has done a great job for this university, and he may have mentioned the part about finances for this institution. When I first came here back in 1984, it was a struggle for everybody who worked here, faculty, staff, everybody. It was tough getting paid. There were some of us were taking out loans or we had other jobs, but we all had a belief in the school and a belief in what it stood for. And we knew that Dr. Hillier would be the person at that time to really take hold of it and try to bring us back in to a financial stability. And that's what he did. He did a great job with it.
And it has. If you ask those who've seen him work around the conference, you ask him what Hillier means to the Southern States and Faulkner, here's the first thought that comes to mind.
Southern States Athletic Conference. He has been here for as long as we've been here and before. He's also a good-natured, honest and kind man, and I think he's led his university and our conference at the times when he's been in charge with that type of attitude. He has a good spirit. He's a lot of fun. He has a good sense of humor, but you don't crack his integrity. You know that he's going to stand for what's right, and he's going to be steadfast. Yeah, I can imagine that if you were a student on his campus, it'd be a place you'd like to go.
Billy Hillier is the only president I know who will call in plays during the game. He's got more courage than I do. He's a wonderful guy. He's got a great, he gets it. He understands it. He understands the balance of athletics and academics. He understands the role of how it works together. I think it's a great loss to see him retire because I do like him and appreciate him and appreciate his spirit. And he's a little bit like me. He wants to be involved and engaged in a lot of stuff. I haven't called the plays, but I've come close a few times.
And if you ask Hillier himself about his legacy, here's what he thinks about his time at Faulkner and how he leaves the university at the end of the year.
I should think that 29 years is enough. I've been doing this a long time and been with the school overall 40 years, and it's been a great experience, and I really enjoyed it. But I think it's time both for me and the university to have a change. And I'm grateful for the opportunity the board is giving me to come back after a sabbatical to work as chancellor. But I'll be able to determine my own schedule and hopefully help the new president in some kind of behind the scenes sort of things,
On behalf of everyone here at the Showcase, Nicole, Scott, and myself, we just give a tip of the hat to Dr. Billy Hillier. That is it for this block. We come back, we put a bow on yet another show, and we put a bow on the spring semester. The Showcase continues after this.
Because you want more flavor, at Nukes we marinate and grill to perfection. Because you want the latest culinary tastes and trends, we never rest. At Nukes, great food drives us. So we are meticulous in our preparation, obsessed with the quality of our ingredients, and uncompromising about serving you our very best. We believe that sharing a memorable meal is one of life's ultimate pleasures. Join us at Nuke's Eatery.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seems. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
Being at Faulkner is like being a part of a big family. I feel safe here. It seems like I know everybody, and even my professors know me by name.
My faith in Christ has grown a lot since coming to Faulkner, especially working with this outstanding Bible department and seeing the general Christian lives of all the professors on campus.
Faulkner University is a growing, academically strong institution where Christ is the center of everything we do. Visit our website today to see what Faulkner has for you.
Can't believe my little girl's going off to college. Your mom would be so proud.
Aw, Dad.
Well, I guess this is goodbye.
I'll see you soon. Hey, Dad.
Hi, sweetheart. I just want you to know I'm so proud of you.
I'm the one that's proud. How are your classes going?
Grinnell University, a Georgia tradition for 135 years. With adult degrees online and in class, families everywhere are discovering pure gold.
Time to put a bow on the show from Piedmont Park here in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome back to the showcase. John here, Nicole there. And we put a lot of thought into this close since it's the last show here of the spring semester. All right, walk me through this. Old, the updates on Dr. Billy Hillier at Faulkner and the Bloodwater Initiative.
Yes.
New, the story at the University of Mobile. Borrowed, the microphone. It belongs to Scott. It doesn't belong to me. That was the toughest one of all of these. And blue, the trim on the golf shirt. If it was cooler, I would have worn the jacket that you've seen me wear. Now, I used those 4 terms for a reason. Something is happening to one of us that is not me in the off season.
If it's not you, that means it must be me.
It is.
And I'll be getting a new name because I'll be getting married.
There you
which
go.
is super exciting.
Yes, it is.
And on that note, we're going to send you home. So make sure you come and see us next year on the showcase.
Can't believe my little girl's going off to college. Your mom would be so proud.
Aw, Dad.
Well, I guess this is goodbye.
I'll see you soon. Hey, Dad.
Hi, sweetheart. I just want you to know I'm so proud of you.
I'm the one that's proud. How are your classes going?
Grinnell University, a Georgia tradition for 135 years. With adult degrees online and in class, families everywhere are discovering pure gold.
The University of Mobile, founded on belief.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am
A nurse. Radiologic technologist.
a manager.
A lifesaver.
I'm a leader.
Going to make the world a better place.
Going to change the world.
Going to change the world.
Going to change the world.
Because of Dalton State.
Because of Dalton State.
Because of Dalton State.
Because of Dalton State.
Are you?
Are you? Are you?
Are you?
Our adult students are a rare and special type of person, leaders in the office and the community, teachers in and out of the classroom, superheroes without capes. They administer first aid on computers and scrape knees. They are changing healthcare and themselves. Be the best version of yourself with an accelerated bachelor's or MBA degree from Bethel University. Call 1-877-4BETHEL today.